Hey, how you guys doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to share with you guys a really cool historical recipe that I became aware about maybe a couple years ago, and I've always wanted to try it. And now that I have some extra pork left over from one of the hogs that we had butchered, I took some pork jowl bacon and made this really cool historical military ration called Erbswurst, and that literally means pea sausage. So stay tuned. We got pretty cool how to make this stuff, and it's a nice shelf-stable, field expedient ration that troops in Germany used since the 1800s. Pretty cool, nice lightweight package, and super easy to make, and it actually tastes really good. So stay tuned. So we had some pigs butchered, and I have this pork jowl here. I got two of them. I got another one in the freezer, and it's got some nice, look at that nice color in there, but it's, you know, a lot of fat on here. And I know people cut this up and make pork jowl bacon out of it and stuff like that, but I really wanted to do a cool historical recipe called Erbswurst, which is a old 1800s German military ration, and it's shelf stable for a long time, and it'd be kind of cool. I'm a big fan of history. It'd be kind of cool to do. So we got the ingredients we need is you can use bacon, but something with a lot of fat in it, an onion, some salt. I'm gonna use garlic powder, a little bit of garlic powder, and then you need split dry peas. You know, it doesn't have to be split, but dry peas. So let's get started. All right, so I got that pork jowl cut up, and you can see looks just like real bacon, you know what I mean, but it's from the jaws of the pig. So I got my pork jowl cut up and thrown in the saucepan, and I got it on medium. I got my onion diced up and in here too, and so we're just gonna kind of cook all this stuff up. All right, so I got this cooking up good. It's pretty much done. I did add a giant piece of fat right here just to help kind of add some liquid fat to this, but everything's looking good. So now I gotta make my pea flour. All right, so I took my split peas, the dried split peas, and I put it in the blender. Now I got some nice pea flour. I know there's a few chunks and stuff in there, but it's a lot of powder, so should be, look at that, should be good to go. All right, so the pork and the onions are cooked up pretty good. I put some in here. I'm gonna blend it up, and same thing with this once I'm done with the blender. So we have our pureed pork and onion that we're gonna add to our pea flour here. All right, so we have our pureed pork and onions on top of our, so we got our pork in here and our onions that's pureed on top of our pea flour, and I have a little bit of extra pea flour right here to add just in case, but we're gonna add some water to this and get this to the consistency of cookie dough. All right, so we got everything mixed up pretty good. Looks the way it should. It's nice and thick. None for you. I added 2 tablespoons of salt and a dash of garlic powder. So now we got to turn it into the wurst part, which means sausage. So we're gonna roll this out in some parchment paper and tie it up and put it into sausage form and let it dry out. All right, so I got the Erbswurst mix placed on the parchment paper. I'm gonna go ahead and roll it up. All right, so I got 3 full ones and half one here, and so they're tied off with twine. And best way to do this is roll it up, tie off one end, and then you take the whole thing. This is open here, and you just kind of like let it hit the ground, and that way it all kind of packs to the bottom, and then you tie this last one up here, and then that way it looks a little bit nicer and more round. This one I didn't have too much left over, so I just made a little hasty one. So now we got to let these sit for about a week. You can do it in the refrigerator. Apparently you can just do it in a cool, dry place, and should be shelf stable for a long time. Nobody seems to know exactly how long that is, but I'd say for at least maybe 5 years or something is what people say, maybe even longer. So we're just gonna try it out. So what I'm gonna do is let these sit and for about a week, and then pull one of them out, probably this small one, and taste it and see how it is. And then the other ones I'll just keep going longer and longer. All right, it's been well over a week, and I've got my Erbswurst that I made, and I have an Esbit stove here, which these are pretty cool. So they're a stove, and you can store these tablets inside that easily light up, and they're fuel tablets, so you can cook. So, got our mug, got our tablets. Let's go ahead and break open one of these guys. Ooh, it smells pretty strong. Alright, so we got our Esbit stove, and we got our fuel tab on there, and it's lit. We got roughly a little less than 8 ounces of water, and we got our Erbswurst. So this is like kind of how you do it in the field. You basically heat up your water on your Esbit stove. You got these little tabs here. You just take these out, place it in the center, let it on fire, and it produces a lot of heat. And it really, I mean, you can see, I can see the flames coming out, and that's exactly what you want. Before this gets too hot, let me roll these out here. Oof. Yeah, this is definitely getting hot. That's awesome. That's what you want. The whole thing, I mean, this is made of tin, and it really doesn't have a lot of weight to it, and you can store 4 tablets inside the Esbit stove. You got your canteen cup, got your Erbswurst. This is my little kit I always keep with, you know, some CLP, knife sharpener, shoelaces, a lighter, a couple batteries, some, this is dryer lint, which lights really easily. So this is like a little fire starter kind of boo-boo kit kind of thing that I have that I keep in my backpack. We'll wait till this gets warm, and then we'll go to the next step. We got a nice bowl going on. So we go ahead and untie this twine here on the packaging. And like I said, this has been sitting out for a while now, so let me just do both ends here. Can always rewrap it. This has been sitting out for maybe 2 weeks. It's just been sitting on my kitchen countertop, and my wife has been hounding me about, what are we gonna do with this thing? Why is this here? And I tried to explain to her what it was, and she wasn't too enthused. So you can see all the fat that's on there. So I'm gonna take a chunk of this bad boy, pop it in here. So we got it in our hot water, and we're just mixing it up in here. Now, if I could do it over again, I would definitely grind up the peas a lot more than I did, because this should be a little bit more dry than it is. Got my little spork. Disintegrated, and it looks like nice pea soup, and it smells amazing. So if you're familiar with pemmican, which is how people used to kind of make trail food out of like steak and pork and stuff way back in the day, the fat that you kind of seal it with, I think that's exactly the same thing that kind of happens here, is you use a very fatty piece of meat like pork jowl or bacon, pork stomach, pork belly, I guess, and that kind of allows for a lot of fat to be in there to kind of seal the food. So, moment of truth. I've actually already tried this not too long ago, and it was delicious. Pretty good. Really good. Yeah, it tastes just like pea soup. You can definitely taste like the fat on your lips and stuff like that, and if you're in the field and you're fighting in World War I, this would be, you know, this would sustain you. It doesn't taste bad, and it's nice and warm too. Now, you can't always, you know, make a fire and stuff like that if you're in the field, if you're in combat. However, this is pretty darn good, you know? And I bet you could probably just take it and put it in regular water and just kind of mix it up and still consume it that way. But it's definitely nice when it's nice and hot. So yeah, pretty darn good. I'm happy I actually made something out of those pork jowls because I didn't know what I was going to do with them. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and you know, if you are interested in making your own Erbswurst, make sure you do some research and find recipes and do it the right way. When you're dealing with stuff that you leave out shelf stable and stuff like that, you know, you run the risk of it kind of going bad and then you consuming something that will make you sick. But like I said, I've already tried this out and it didn't make me sick at all. So like I said, hope you enjoy the video, and give us a like, a subscribe, and make sure you share the video with your people. So catch you on the next one.